They say children notice everything, even the things adults try to hide behind quiet smiles and busy days, and 8-year-old Noah was no different. He had always been a peaceful child, the kind who listened more than he spoke, the kind whose silence carried questions that adults were sometimes too afraid to answer. For months he had watched his parents drift like two boats caught in different tides, close enough to be seen, far enough to be unreachable. And no matter how gently they tried to hide it from him, the truth had found its way into the small heart that still believed in happy endings. His father, Daniel, had moved to the guest room 3 months earlier. His mother, Claire, had stopped humming while cooking. Their dinners had become strangely quiet, their smiles strangely polite, and the love that once filled the house like sunlight had begun to fade into long shadows stretching across the walls. And still, no one had said a word. Not until the night Noah walked into the living room clutching his small yellow blanket, eyes sleepy, voice trembling with a question that had been growing inside him like a storm. "Daddy," he whispered, "why are you and Mommy getting divorced?" The world seemed to stop moving. Daniel's coffee cup slipped from his hand and hit the carpet, but he didn't notice Claire froze near the kitchen doorway, her breath catching like a broken note. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The room was filled with the soft hum of the refrigerator, the slow ticking of the clock, and the quiet heartbeat of a child waiting for the truth. Daniel knelt down, his hands shaking as he held his son's. "Who told you that, buddy?" "No one," Noah said. "I heard you both fighting 2 nights ago. And I heard you cry, Daddy." Claire came closer, her eyes already glistening. "Noah, sweetheart, we didn't want you to worry." "But I am worried," Noah whispered. Daniel looked at Claire, and for the first time in months they saw the same thing reflected in each other's eyes: fear, exhaustion, and the weight of a truth they could no longer hide. And so they sat together on the couch, the 3 of them huddled close, while rain tapped gently against the windows outside. Daniel took a deep breath, the kind that feels like lifting a mountain with bare hands. "Noah," he began softly, "Mommy and we've been trying very hard to fix things between us, but sometimes, even when 2 people love each other, they stop growing in the same direction. And then, staying together hurts more than being apart." Noah's small fingers tightened around his father's. "But I don't want things to change." Claire's voice broke as she stroked his hair. "We know, baby, and we wish things didn't have to change. But you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't cause this. None of it is your fault. Then why can't you just be happy together again?" he whispered. The silence that followed was the heaviest silence they had ever known. Daniel swallowed hard, because sometimes, when grown-ups hurt each other too much, they stop knowing how to make each other happy, and trying to fix it can make things worse. Noah looked from one parent to the other, confusion and sadness swirling in his innocent eyes. "But do you still love me?" Claire broke. Tears rolled freely down her cheeks as she pulled him into her arms. "With every heartbeat," she whispered. "You are the best thing we ever did, Noah. Nothing will ever change that." Daniel placed a hand over both of them. "We will always be your parents, always. We're not leaving you. We're just changing the way we live." But a child's heart does not understand slow explanations. It understands only the feeling of being safe or unsafe, loved or forgotten. And that night, when Noah finally fell asleep between his parents, the first time the 3 of them had held each other in months, the house seemed to breathe with a sadness too deep for words. Days passed, some quiet, some tense, some filled with long talks about school, soccer practice, weekend plans, and who would pick Noah up from his art class on Fridays. Both Daniel and Claire tried to hide their pain behind gentle smiles for their son. They tried to talk to each other without arguing. They tried to be brave, but the truth stayed there, like a crack in the wall that no one could fix. One afternoon, Noah came home from school clutching a drawing. It was a picture of 2 houses with a child standing between them. Daniel felt something inside him shatter. "Is this us?" he asked quietly. Noah nodded. "My teacher said that having 2 homes can mean double the family. Is that true?" Claire knelt beside him. "Yes," she whispered, It means you'll have two places where people love you. But will you two be friends? Noah asked. The question struck like lightning. Claire looked at Daniel, and for the first time in months, they weren't angry, they were just tired and sad. "We'll try," Daniel said. "For you, we'll try very hard." And they did. The divorce didn't happen all at once. It came slowly, like leaves falling one by one from a tree. But something strange happened too, something that neither of them expected. They became softer with each other, kinder, more patient. The fight stopped because there was nothing left to win or lose, just a small boy whose happiness became the only truth that mattered. Over time, Noah learned new things: how to pack a weekend bag, how to decorate 2 rooms instead of 1, how to say goodbye to one parent knowing he would see them again soon, and though he missed the old life, he began to understand the new one. One night at Daniel's new apartment, Noah looked up from his homework and asked, "Daddy, are you happier now?" Daniel paused, surprised. "Why do you ask?" "Because you smile more now." Daniel felt tears gathering. "I didn't smile because I was sad, buddy. But yes, I'm learning to be happy again." "And Mommy?" "She's healing too," Daniel said softly. Noah nodded thoughtfully. "Then, if you both are okay, I think I'll be okay too." Daniel hugged him tightly, the kind of hug that says everything words cannot. Months later, at a school event, Claire and Daniel stood side by side watching Noah perform in a play, and when he looked at them from the stage, he smiled, big and bright, because no matter what had changed, he still saw 2 parents who loved him more than anything in the world. And that's when Claire whispered, "We did something right, didn't we?" Daniel nodded. "Yes, we learned how to stay a family, even when the shape of the family changed." In the end, divorce didn't break them. It rearranged them, and though life moved forward, slowly, painfully, beautifully, one truth remained unshaken. A child's heart can survive change if love never stops holding it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe for more stories that touch your heart.